click on File, New, Import. After that, you can search here Maven. Once you will search Maven, it will come this one, and under that you can select existing Maven project. Click Next, browse, and then go to the desktop, select user API. Here you have to only select the project, click select folder. Once you will select this user API folder, there should come form.xml, because in this particular file we have we have everything. We have description, what kind of project it is, everything is written here. Click finish. So now here you can see project is showing here user API project, and let's wait to complete the build. Right, build is completed. So now if you can see, project is created here. If I open the form.xml file, in this file here we can see our parent dependency is Spring Boot starter parent. This is the Spring Boot version. And after that we have here Java version 11, then Spring Boot JPA, Web, and then MySQL. These three dependencies we have added, and one dependency by default added here is Spring Boot starter test, and then this is the Maven plugin. So three dependencies are added in this form.xml. Now what next we have to do is we have to go to the main file, and by default it will create one user API application.java file. In this file everything is written. Just what you can do, right click here, run as Java application. Let's just see whether your application is working or not. You are able to access it or not. So here it is saying fail to configure URL attribute is not specified in the embedded data source could be configured. Since if you will see in our form.xml, we have added here MySQL, we have added here data.jpg. So whenever you will add this dependency, in that case you have to configure first data source, then your program will run. And data source you can configure for anything, maybe MySQL or any database. H2 is in memory database, you can configure for that also. So the next step is, once you will see that you are getting this particular message application failed, in that case first thing what we will do, we have to go into src main resource, expand it, and then open this application.property. And here in this application.property we have to write, configuration related to database. We'll have to tell the Spring which database you want to connect. So here spring.jpa.hibernate.ddl auto equal to update. So we have to use update, because once you will use update, that means you can perform here insert, update, delete, all related stuff. Then here we have data source URL, and in this URL you can write jdbc.mysql.localhost and then localhost :3306, and here we have to give the database name. URL you have to provide, we need to connect with user info database, then username is root, password is also root for the MySQL database. And once you will done this is enough. Now I want to add one more thing. I want to add one login. So if you want to enable login, we have to see. So here we will see login.level.org, and instead of Spring we can write hibernate.sql. Let's see whether it will work or not. So basically we have what we are trying to do is whenever we will perform any operation, then SQL should print on this console. So as of now, we have configured application.property file, which is the first step that we have to do. Next step is, let's try to run this application again, and we'll see if it is working or not. Okay, so after that, here you can see this is running mode. Application is in running mode, and then by default Tomcat started at 8080 port. So if I go into the web page and write localhost colon 8080, enter. So now we are getting message, white label error, application has no explicit mapping. That application is running, right? But we don't have any mapping for the pages. So suppose if I write any other thing, then you will see error message that your port is not running, this site is not able to reach. But since your application is running and you are able to access 8080, in that case you will get this type of message. So the next step is, now our application is running, we have to write some code to connect, or we can say to show in that Tomcat. So what I'll do next is, we will create one controller. So let me just create class, and this class will be under user API, let's say controller. In this controller I can say user controller. Controller means this class will be used to write all the APIs. So similar to, you can see user similar to this one, we will use here user controller. What I'll have to do is, we have to annotate with @REST controller. This is one annotations that you have to use if you work with Spring Boot API. We have to use @REST controller, and after that we have to also tell request mapping, that in request mapping, and then path equal to, you have to say slash, let's say I'm saying API, user API, something like that, user API. So this will be our path. Whenever you will run your application, after localhost 8080 slash, you have to write user API slash. After that only it will work. So you have to append this user API, right? And then that particular thing automatically reach to this. Spring Boot will identify if you are using REST controller, then request will directly reach to this one, this particular class. Now here you have to, we can add one GET request just to check whether this is working or not. So what I'll write, one method public, okay, before public you can write @get mapping. In get mapping we can say path equal to, let's say slash. So once you will press user API, and after that whenever you will press slash, then this particular method will invoke. And in this method you have to write @response body, response body, and in this response body public response body, and then we can say any message. a string with something like or something say help, and we can strn return. Just wanted to check save it, and right, let me run it again. So whenever you will run, you have to come to this one, user application, a Spring application.run this class, and then you can run it. Let's see if I'll hit user API slash, in that case we are getting high or not. Let's go here, and if I'll say user API slash, then you can see we are getting high. That means one API is working, default API is working fine, right? I can see here welcome to user API. This message we will see. Whenever you will press slash, we will get this message.